I come across alumni of the school all the time. Currently at the Global Fund, I am part of a team called the Technical Partnerships and Advisory Team, and half of my team has either studied at the school or been part of the school or did research with the school.
I tend to receive regular emails from the London School Alumni Network, and it's very nice to see the progress that people have managed to achieve, since they left the school. And it's always inspirational in a way to see the great things that previous students have managed to achieve.
I think the Alumni Network is quite useful and it will be useful for anyone who's graduating from the school. You tend to not realize how much your core group of people who are intensely with you for 1 year really become valuable as friends and kind of people that you will run into over and over again. And I think it's a really valuable resource for everyone.
It's always inspiring to meet people that study at the London School, because everyone is just doing amazing things.
I also remember the first time I was ever headhunted by a company. I felt very special. And then at the end of the interview, it was kind of like, how did you find me? And what was very interesting, that one of my school colleagues actually, and the networks have recommended me for the recruiting agency. So that was amazing.
My three favourite days of the year are the same every year. It's the first day of term when you meet all those shiny new faces and the excited people in the classroom. It's the day when exams finish, when you see the relief and delight from all of you who've just gone through that sweat and tears. And then it's today, graduation day, when you see families coming together and friends to celebrate all of your success.
It's really nice to welcome you today, and it's great to see how many of you come to make such a long journey quite often to be here today with friends and family, and I hope you enjoy the day with everyone.
I just want to say congratulations to everybody for the class of 2017.
Congratulations, class of 2017, on finishing your MSc and on your graduation just now.
Congratulations for getting to the end. It's a fantastic achievement. Your motivation has been amazing.
We always enjoy students come to the school, not just because we teach them, but they come from all parts of the world. We enjoy the cultural enhancement it gives the school. We enjoy their sense of humour and very much interacting with them. They bring so much to the school, and we really appreciate that.
You probably don't understand this or get this because of you don't recognise it because you're here for such a short period of time, but it is amazing what the student body brings to the school. The injection of life we get every October, it's fantastic. The whole place is buzzing straight after.
You give us vitality and enthusiasm and passion that you bring with you, and that seeps its way through the whole life of the school.
Well, congratulations on your degrees, and now you have them. Remember, it's not just all about work. Make sure you have a good life-work balance and enjoy your life and have an enriching experience you've had from the school.
On this day, saying goodbye has its pain, and all I'd like to say to finish up is please keep in touch. Good luck out there in the big wide world, saving lives and improving public health worldwide, and farewell.
Good afternoon and welcome to Friends House for the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine's graduation ceremony 2018. The ceremony will begin very shortly, but just before it does, I need to make a few housekeeping announcements, so if you could all remain in your seats. Firstly, could you please make sure that all mobile phones and other electronic devices are switched to silent? And graduates, could you please ensure that you are sitting in the seat assigned to you? You'll find your seat number on the colour ticket you received when you registered. If you're not sitting in the correct seat, this may disrupt proceedings. It's important that graduands and guests remain in the hall throughout the ceremony. We aren't expecting any problems, but if for any reason we need you to evacuate the lecture theatre, an alarm will sound and the ushers will guide you through the exit doors to a safe space. Please do have a look around you now to familiarise yourself with the nearest exits, as there are several around the room. You'll notice that there are some video cameras around the room. This is because the ceremony is being streamed live and it will be available for download afterwards. Please also be aware that flash photography will be being used as each graduate crosses the stage. Do feel free to take photographs and videos during the ceremony. However, please be careful not to obscure the view of those around you. Finally, today is a celebration of the success of our graduands. So please do enjoy the morning and show your support with a little applause and perhaps a little cheer as well. Ladies and gentlemen, could you please be upstanding for the academic procession?
Please sit. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine's Graduation Ceremony 2018. This is the second of two ceremonies today, and it is wonderful to see such a large number of family and friends here to celebrate our graduates' achievements. I would now like to invite Professor Peter Piot, Director of the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, to the lectern to say a few words. Professor Piot.
Thank you, Anne, and good afternoon, everybody. Chairman, honoured graduates and guests, it's a privilege for me as Director of the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine to welcome you to this graduation ceremony and to present the awards to the diplomats of our 2016-2017 Master's Programme and our doctoral candidates. I'm really pleased that so many graduates here today have been able to bring guests. The support of your families, your friends, your partners often involve considerable personal and financial sacrifice on their part, and they've been vital in achieving your success that we celebrate today. Please join me in showing our appreciation for them. Our school is anchored in London, of course, but we're also a truly global institution. That is reflected in our staff, students, alumni, and in the focus of our research. This is something to be immensely proud of. And at a time when parts of the world seem to be increasingly turning inwards, we remain resolutely committed to tackling the most pressing challenges in health, both here in the UK and around the world. Because most of the major health threats today are by their very nature interconnected and their solutions will depend on the full participation of a global community. Take the recent outbreaks of Ebola and Zika, which show how diseases that had previously only caused isolated outbreaks can quickly escalate into major international public health threats. Preparing for future epidemics and the next big one, let's not forget this is the 100th anniversary of the Spanish flu, is only going to become a more urgent imperative in the coming years. We also face countless other global challenges, more displaced people and refugees than ever before, the potential rebound of the HIV epidemic in parts of Africa and Eastern Europe, drug-resistant infection, drug-resistant insects, spikes in preventable diseases like measles due to powerful anti-vaccine movements, and the tsunami of non-communicable diseases such as cancers, diabetes, heart disease, and dementia facing societies all over the world. All of this is set against the backdrop of climate change, diminishing natural resources, widening gaps between rich and poor, and the demographic implications that come with longer life expectancies. These challenges will have major impact on all of our lives, but even more so for your graduates, as you embark on the next stages of your career. The world really needs you. The world needs new solutions. And as the next generation of public health leaders and scientists, you will undoubtedly find the solutions for today's and tomorrow's health challenges. And your knowledge, values, and creativity will be critical in shaping these. And that's what gives me reason for hope, and that's why I remain an optimist, because of you. I hope that we are at a new dawn in public health where we shift from a predominant emphasis on individual treatment to an advanced integration of care, prevention, and people-centered community activities, moving away from firefighting to stopping people getting ill in the first place. We're also just at the very early stages of realizing the enormous potential that areas of technological innovation, like mobile technology, machine learning, and artificial intelligence can have on our work and our day-to-day lives. Technological innovation offers real potential for so-called leapfrogging in resource-poor settings, particularly to at least partly overcome major deficits in human resources. Huge opportunities for improving health and well-being lie outside the health sector and outside the biomedical understandings of health. And I'm hopeful that the multidisciplinary and stretching nature of your degrees will have amply prepared you to engage and innovate across other sectors. But we also need to think about how we mend rifts in our society. It's vital that in all of our work, we encourage respect, tolerance, and diversity, and importantly, stand up to injustices where we see them. If you hold on these assertions, you will be a force for change. Now, as you embark on your careers, be prepared for the fact that it won't always be a straightforward trajectory. The idea that you can plan a secure career is an illusion. And speaking from my own experience, I would suggest that you don't overplan, as you can end up missing opportunities along the way, missing doors that are open, and even have a boring life. I hope one of the things you have learned here is to always look ahead and prepare, while recognizing that life is always going to surprise us. Carry on learning, and don't be afraid to take chances. Today we are honoring our 3 honorary fellows, Professor Janet Hemingway, Dr. Natalia Cannon, and Dr. Chidi Moeti. 3 women out of 3. They are true leaders in the field, 3 women who have made each an outstanding contribution. And I'm honored that they're able to attend this ceremony as role models for all of us. I hope you agree that your success here owes something to the dedication, the commitment, and the skills of our valued staff, some of whom are here in the audience today. And I would like to also thank each of you graduates for the contributions that you have already made to the school. And I'm sure that your classmates will also become part of your cherished personal and professional networks that you can continue to lean on and learn from in the future, as emphasized this morning by Professor Janet Hemingway. From today, you join a global family of alumni, a family of thousands working in over 180 countries, but united by a common mission and a common vision and common values. We look forward to keeping in touch with you as your careers evolve, and we also look to you to support the school as we develop our research partnerships and educate future generations of students at a critical time for global health. But this is not the end of your journey. As Nelson Mandela said, after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. So keep on climbing, always carrying with you the experiences and values I hope you've gained during your time studying at the school. Congratulations to everyone, and my very best wishes for whatever comes next. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Piot. We now come to the presentation of this afternoon's graduates. Dame Marjorie, on behalf of Council, the governing body of the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, we invite you to formally recognise and celebrate the academic achievement of its students. Representatives from each faculty will present to you the master's degree and research degree students who qualified for a degree in the academic session 2016-17. I call upon Professor John Edmonds to come forward and present the master's degree graduates from the Faculty of Epidemiology and Population Health. Professor Edmonds.
Okay, thanks. Good afternoon. It's my great pleasure to introduce the graduates on the Faculty of Epidemiology and Population Health. And I'm going to start with the award for Master of Science in Clinical Trials by Distance Learning. And first up is Karen Natasha Bisnorthing. Susan Clark. Anne-Marie Rose Duggan. Sheila Mary Grant, Distinction, and Sheila is also the winner of the University of London International Programme's 150th Anniversary Prize. Kelly Jones. Cornelia Gabriela Luir. Mafatso Mwapaza. Jordanis Siridopoulos, Distinction. And Christina Search-Ridson. Next, for the award of Postgraduate Certificate in Clinical Trials by Distance Learning, Georgios Mihas. Next, we're going to have the award of Master of Science in Demography and Health. And first off, we have Gargi Ahmad. Mam Yassin Sise. Amy Louise Clutterbuck. Rebecca Musgrove, distinction, and also the winner of the Selwyn Clark Prize. Mariam Begum Ratner. Alex Trafford, distinction. Pierrick Robert Guy Adam. Oh, this is Master of Science in Epidemiology, sorry. I turned the page. Cameron John Benner, distinction. Sean Browning. Alice Ann Louise Dawson. Catherine Eisenhower, distinction. Teo Lee Haskins Coulter. Rikako Hiramatsu. Harriet Jones, distinction. Paulina Kazmierska. Emmeline Bryan Laney. Andrew Lee. Amarachi Rose Chimuanya Mbedelelogu. Sorry. Sandra Ngonizashe Mbweni. Luke Aidan McGuinness. Joseph Pett. Catherine Polling, distinction, and also the winner of the Nand Lal Baja and Savriti Devi Prize. Mina Rafiq. Yuishien Sun. Fatima Ismail Tsega Ahmed. Sophia Turner. Kevin van Zandvoort. Camiel Jacques Johannes Weifels, distinction. And Jana Ziffer. Okay, next we have the award of Master of Science in Epidemiology by Distance Learning. First we have Megan Brianna Azad, distinction, and also Megan is the winner of the University of London International Programme's 150th Anniversary Prize. Adedapo Olufemi Bashiroran. Anne Bergstrom. Susan Elizabeth Bromley, distinction. Jilchin Aliong. Claire Rosemary Davis, distinction. Halim Herji. Vida Jadrasik. Quinqueiros Jenkins. Shamila Karutu. Spencer Joseph Keane. Frida Kinotti. David McCoy. Aidan Nelligan. Isabella Ponunzi. Matthew George Parry. Rashad Rasool. Carla Romero. Karen Scott. Sven Strait. Carrie Williams. Shishang Zhu. Next we have the award of Master of Science of Global Mental Health, I hope, yeah, good. Elizabeth Rose Sonia Ahern. Victoria Beloshow. Thomas Samuel Canning. Grace Florence Crowley, distinction. Lauren Brooke Fisk. Mika Hendricks. Jacob King. Gregana Manilova. Akrita Mehta, distinction. Oh, and also the winner of the Global Mental Health Prize as well. Well done. Charlotte Manikandam. Oneza Kureishi. Megan Sambrook Smith, distinction. Jodie Ann Smith. Kasufumi Yoshida. Now we have the award of Master of Science in Medical Statistics. And first up we have Ofran Olamasawi. Kuratul Ann. Orla Carroll, distinction. Matthew Dodd, distinction. Daniel Drozdov. Jack Elks. Priya Jagdish Gokani. Kelly J. Needham. Emily Sarah Nightingale, distinction. Isabella Orchowska. Ashay Kumar Patel. Holly Pavey. Rachel Pearson. Jennifer Ryan, distinction. Sophia Sado Inferi. Matthew James Smith. Cameron Tanner, distinction. And also the winner of the PSI Andrew Hewitt Prize. Russell Tirao. Okay. Next, it's the award of Master of Science in Nutrition for Global Health. And first up, we have Carmelia Alio-Carew, who's also got a distinction and the joint winner of the John Rivers Prize. Lavishka Chandinibai Babaji. Laura Ann Becker. Divya Bhagtani. Talia Cox. Rachel Crichton. Safa Gerald Nabi. Adnan Ganki, distinction, and also the joint winner of the John Rivers Prize. Popular winner too. Nabiro Ghulam Hussain. Imara Glooning, distinction. Kiara Hogan. Devon Jaffa Urel. Mary Wahito Kangara. Lise Koppel. Melanie Lisa Krautheimer. Lucy Lafferty, distinction, and also the joint winner of the Heft Bequest Prize. Hugh Hyun-ju Lee. Jennifer Martin. Natasha Philippa O'Sullivan, distinction, and Natasha is also the joint winner of the Hecht Bequest Prize as well. Olivia Beatrice Price. Isabel Stanley. Kevin Tang. Aminata Trawali. Chloe Wong. Next we have the award of Master of Science in Reproductive and Sexual Health Research. And first up we have Moe Ando. Faye Callahan. Louise Cliff. Miriam Gladstone. Claire Holdreith. Danielle German. Manik Parkash Singh, distinction. Oh, Manik Parkash Singh Kohli, sorry. Distinction. Anna Kramer. Mamba Fongikeme Ngetamala Priska. Claire Norcross, distinction. Aideen O'Queel. Luke Parks. Kimberly Popple. Francesca Roth. Alexandra Elizabeth Tate. Murtry Sheila Tersini. Distinction. Kapnia Bassi Umana. Sophia Farouk Usman. And Brianna Williams. So next we have the award for Master of Science in Veterinary Epidemiology. And the only one we're giving out today is FTP Sadzele. Next we have the award of Master of Science in Public Health for Development. I hope, yeah. Sarah Ellen Edelman, distinction, and Sarah is also the winner of the Okeke Prize and William Simpson Prize. Alejandra Alonso Caprile. Fatima Dagash. Mara Daly. Elena Davis. Meret Amsalo Dubale. Shadia El-Shiwi. Nasser Fardousi. Rachel Marie Glogowski. Monu Hansombo. Jeremy Stewart Hill. Rifa Tazim Khan. Elizabeth Magnuson. Victor Toll Morkio. Victoria Paris Distinction. Sophia Randera Rees. And we have one more MSc Epidemiology by Distance Learning, and that's Alexander James Adamson. And that concludes the awards of MScs from the EPH.
Thank you, Professor Edmonds. I now call upon Professor Jane Webster to present the research degree graduates from the Faculty of Infectious and Tropical Diseases. Professor Webster.
So it's my great pleasure to introduce the research degree graduates from the Faculty of Infectious and Tropical Diseases. So I'll announce their names and also the thesis title. So first we have Mohammed Mahdi Abdul and his thesis, Adapted Motivational Interviewing to Improve Uptake of Glaucoma Treatment in Bauchi, Nigeria. Ismail Habtamu Ali, Trachomatis, Trichiasis, Surgical Management and Impact. Oh, I hasn't got that. Sorry, and also the Woodruff Medal. Sarah Louise Bailey, Understanding the Effect of Hyperglycemia on Tuberculosis Control in a Southern African Setting, the Impact of HIV and Diabetes Control. Robert Butcher, using alternate indicators to define the need for public health intervention for trachoma, evidence from the Pacific Islands. Matthew Raymond Chico, intermittent preventive treatment of malaria in pregnancy and infectious causes of adverse birth outcomes in sub-Saharan Africa. Catherine Elizabeth Gallagher, evaluating human papillomavirus vaccine introduction in Tanzania and other low-resource settings. Catherine is also a joint winner of the Jerry Morris Prize. Natasha Howard, malaria control for Afghans in Pakistan and Afghanistan, 1990 to 2005. A mixed methods assessment considering effectiveness, efficiency, equity, and humanity. Karasawa Yuka, the impact of betel quid chewing during pregnancy on pregnancy outcomes in Bhutan. Aran Sanjeeth Kare, an autopsy study exploring the spectrum of disease in individuals with advanced HIV in primary care clinics in South Africa. Helen Kelly, the epidemiology of human papillomavirus infection and epigenetic factors associated with the development of cervical cancer, precursor lesions in women living with HIV in Africa. Inke Lubis, molecular epidemiology of Plasmodium species in North Sumatra, Indonesia, and the efficacy of dihydramycinin, piperequine, and artemether lumefantrine for treatment of clinical malaria. Isla McTaggart, measuring disability in population-based surveys, the relationship between clinical impairments, self-reported functional limitations, and equal opportunities in 2 low and middle income country settings. Fiona Margarine, disposal of child faeces, practices, determinants, and health effects. Jodie Fellan, a bioinformatics analysis of Mycobacterium tuberculosis and host genomic data. Harry Pickering, identification of Chlamydia trachomatis immune targets through immunological and population genomic screens and elucidation of potential roles in bacterial pathogenesis. Ailey Robinson, an investigation into the effects of Plasmodium parasite infection on the human odour profile. Ailey is also the joint winner of the Garnham Prize. Kate Sabat, the use of social network analysis to study healthcare provider advice and performance. York Webber, participatory evaluation for community-based rehabilitation. That concludes the research degrees for the Faculty of Infectious and Tropical Diseases.
Thank you, Professor Webster. I now call upon Professor Simon Cohn to present the research degree graduates from the Faculty of Public Health and Policy. Professor Cohn.
It is now my pleasure to introduce the research degree graduates from the Faculty of Public Health and Policy. Stephen Davies, for a thesis entitled Organisation and Policy for Research and Development, the Health Department for England and Wales, 1961 to 1986. Robin Eckel, for a thesis entitled An Examination of Real-World Applicability and Acceptability of Oral Pre-Exposure Prophylaxis, PrEP, for female sex workers in South Africa. Julie Evans, for a thesis entitled The Role of Social Networks in the Management of Children's Health and Illness in Koroncho, an urban informal settlement in Nairobi, Kenya. Anne Gutagukta for a thesis entitled Pathways of Care for Sexual Violence Survivors and the Benefits and Drawbacks of Using Community Health Workers to Provide Support Health Services to Sexual Violence Survivors, a Systematic Review and Case Study in Kenya. Felix Gill for a thesis entitled Theory and Conceptualization of Public Trust in the Healthcare System, 3 English case studies, Care.data, Biobanks, and 100,000 Genome Project. Adam Kuhn for a thesis entitled Framing Universal Health Coverage in Kenya, an Interpretive Analysis of Health Financing Politics. Yoko Viana Lawrence for a thesis entitled Strategies to Detect and Treat Concurrent Tuberculosis and Diabetes Mellitus in Indonesia, Peru, and Romania. Costs, operational feasibility, and impact on health-related quality of life. Richard Moon Min Nain Ma for a thesis entitled What Strategies Influence General Practitioners to Deliver Public Health Programs? An example using the National Chlamydia Screening Program. Karima Manji for a thesis entitled Articulating the Role of Social Norms in Sustaining Intimate Partner Violence, IPV, in Mwanza, Tanzania. Fiona Mapp for a thesis entitled Sexually Transmitted Infections, a Mixed Method Study of Stigma, Symptoms, and Help Seeking. Adun Mahara for a thesis entitled Implementation of Compulsory Licensing of Pharmaceuticals in Thailand. Yuko Ataki for a thesis entitled Life Goes On, Psychological Sufferings from War and Healing Pathways in Northern Rwanda. Nicholas Surin Pocock for a thesis entitled Occupational Hazards, Injuries and Violence among Men and Boys Trafficked for Commercial Fishing in the Greater Mekong Sub-Region, GMS. Health Needs, Victim Identification and Assistance. Matthew Quaife for a thesis entitled Using Stated Preferences to Estimate the Impact and Cost Effectiveness of New HIV Prevention Products in South Africa. Courtney Ann Scott for a thesis entitled Understanding Nutrition Policymaking Dynamics in the US, the Case of Products Reformulation. Anik Mahalia Sorendo for a thesis entitled Exploring Young People's Lived Experience of a Targeted Positive Youth Development Program, a phenomenological investigation of the Teens and Toddlers Teenage Pregnancy Prevention Program. And that concludes the research degree graduates from the Faculty of Public Health and Policy.
Thank you, Professor Cohn. I now call upon Professor Suzanne Filto to present the research degree graduates from the Faculty of Epidemiology and Population Health. Professor Filto.
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to announce the awards for the of research degrees in EPH. First is Rachel Brathwaite for a thesis, Differences in Smoking by Location of Residence, Ethnic Group and Country of Origin, the Ghanaian Perspective in Sub-Saharan Africa and Europe. The next is Susie Crow for a thesis, Relevant Accessible Sensitivity Analysis for Clinical Trials with Missing Data. Marina Danieli for Involving Men in Maternity Care in Burkina Faso, an intervention study. Anthony Etiang for determining the causal role of malaria in elevating blood pressure and pulse wave velocity in Kenyan adolescents and adults. Ruth Farmer for the thesis, Application of Marginal Structural Models with Inverse Probability of Treatment Weighting in Electronic Health Records to investigate the benefits and risks of first-time type 2 diabetes treatments. Rebecca Harris for Informing Development Strategies for New Tuberculosis Vaccines, Mathematical Modeling and Novel Epidemiological Tools. Anwar Hossain for Missing Data in Cluster Randomized Trials. Alima Jedi Agba, Breast Cancer in Sub-Saharan Africa, Determinants of Stage at Diagnosis and Diagnostic Delays in Women with Symptomatic Breast Cancer. Elizabeth Millett, for the use of linked electronic health data to investigate the burden and outcomes of community-acquired pneumonia among older individuals. Saika Malik, for a thesis called Feasibility and Effectiveness of Integrating HIV Prevention and Testing into Family Planning Services in Northwestern Province, South Africa, a cluster randomized trial. Helen Nabuera, for the thesis Evaluation of Growth Faltering in Rural Gambian Children. Patrick Njipdop Njomo for tuberculosis in Western European high-income and low-incidence settings, recent trends, social determinants, and prevention through BCG vaccination. Uduak Okomo for neonatal infections, a hospital-based study in the Gambia examining etiology and associated maternal colonization. Benedetta Ponglioni, who for gender equality in healthy aging, a study in the older English population over a decade. Benedetta is also the winner of the Bradford Hill Prize. Next is Kalpana Sabapathy for factors associated with the uptake of testing and treatment in the first year of the Pop Art trial. And Kalpana is also the winner of the Cecily Williams Prize, which is our only research degree prize named after a woman. Next is Bindu Sunny for age for grade heterogeneity and primary school dropout in Karanga District, Northern Malawi, causes and consequences. Now is Emily Tashome for comparison of home fortification with 2 iron formulations, a placebo-controlled non-inferiority trial among Kenyan children protected against malaria by a single course of artemisinin-based combination therapy. And finally, Catherine Tice-Neeland for integrating insecticide-treated nets with routine antenatal care and immunization programs, policy, practice, and coverage. And that is all for the research degrees in EPH.
Thank you, Professor Filto. It is at this point in the proceedings that we turn to the presentation of our Honorary Fellowships. The Honorary Fellowship is the highest honour the school can bestow and is awarded to those who have rendered exceptional service to the school or have achieved exceptional international distinction in public health, international or tropical medicine. It is my great pleasure to invite Professor Piot to deliver a citation for Dr. Natalia Cannon. Professor Piot.
Dear Marjorie, I present to you Dr. Natalia Cannon. This honorary fellowship is in recognition of the tremendous leadership and commitment across public and reproductive health, social justice, women's rights, and philanthropy that Dr. Cannon has shown over her impressive 30-year career. And as I mentioned in my introduction, Dr. Cannon is the 3rd woman today to receive the Honorary Fellowship. Well deserved and much needed to restore the balance among our Honorary Fellows at our school, the gender balance, I mean. A native of Panama, Dr. Natalia Cannon is since October last year the Executive Director of UNFPA, the United Nations Population Fund. And as such, she is among the highest-ranking women at the United Nations and the first Afro-Latina to have that level of responsibility in the UN. Prior to her role as Executive Director, she served as the UNFPA representative in Tanzania and then as Deputy Executive Director of UNFPA in charge of programs. As Natalia said upon taking up the role in October 2017, the UNFPA mandate has never been more relevant. Indeed, and I would add that Natalia's leadership is needed more than ever at a time when family planning, women's health, and countering gender-based violence are under ideological and financial threat in many countries across the world. Dr. Cannon is a magna cum laude graduate of Harvard University, where she studied history and science. It was during her time at Harvard that Natalia became interested in women's reproductive health when she attended an international women's conference in Mexico City in 1975. She also holds a medical degree from Columbia University and a master's degree in public health from the University of Washington in Seattle. After assignments as a pediatrician at Johns Hopkins University and at Princess Margaret Hospital in Dominica in the Caribbean, Natalia returned to Columbia University as assistant professor of pediatrics and health. Her research included prenatal care, attitudes and practices of Harlem women, and clinical trials on the prevention of mother-to-child transmission of HIV. And she was also the co-founder and co-director of the Harlem Center for Health Promotion and Disease Prevention. These were her years when she was really working on the ground in communities, in impoverished communities in New York City and in the Caribbean. Dr. Cannon then served in the Ford Foundation for over a decade, where she helped pioneer work in women's reproductive health and sexuality, in particular through her position as the representative for West Africa based in Nigeria. And she rose to become the Foundation's Deputy Vice President for its worldwide peace and social justice programs. Dr. Cannon was also the founding president of Elma Philanthropies. That's when we met. A foundation which focuses primarily on children and youth in Africa. And she guided the group in dozens of African countries to help mothers access maternal and newborn care, HIV prevention and treatment for those living with HIV, especially children. When Secretary General Antonio Guterres appointed Dr. Cannon to the head of UNFPA last year, among her many credentials, he cited her penchant for building, and I quote, strong local, national, and international and donor partner alliances. These skills were dramatically illustrated when Natalia succeeded in actually increasing the income of UNFPA after the Trump administration cut all funds to the organization. I had the privilege of serving with Natalia on the board of the King Baldwin Foundation USA and could experience how she combines a keen interest in science, evidence, great leadership and diplomatic skills, and a vibrant sense of humor and joie de vivre, and someone who doesn't take no for an answer. Dr. Cannon is a committed champion and trailblazer who has dedicated her life to promoting the health and rights of women, girls and youth. Her passion and leadership for women's health and rights is an inspiration for all of us. And we couldn't be more pleased to officially welcome Dr. Cannon to the LSHTM community. Dame Marjorie, I request you to confirm the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine's most prestigious honor, that of Honorary Fellow upon Dr. Natalia Cannon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I know I'm going to say something. No, you have to stay here. You're not shy, are you? Thank you. So, we'll never get it. I'm excited too. Professor Dr. Natalia Cannon, it gives me great pleasure to confer upon you the Honorary Fellowship of the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. Thank you very much. So much. You make me very much.
Dame Marjorie, Professor Piot, and officials of the school, colleagues and friends, Professor Leslie Davidson, and dear graduates, I greet you in the name of peace. Peace is the purpose, it is the noble mission of the United Nations, in which I am so proud to serve. And I'm exceedingly honored by this conferral today. I thank the school for bestowing this distinction upon me. And it was wonderful to walk into the light with the sounds of Caribbean pan playing in this room. Thank you. It is indeed a glorious moment, a commencement at this school, internationally renowned for your research and practice for the good of the public. This day allows us to reflect upon the continuity of human efforts to conquer death and disease, It's a commitment that must ever be renewed, and it's needed today more than ever. So I congratulate you, graduates. And as you leave the light, cloaked in your newly won achievements, your cohort here transforms. Your associates, students, and faculty alike form the basis of your future worldwide network of colleagues and community who will assist you to become a game changer towards the joint aspiration that the world has declared via the United Nations to leave no one behind in the quest for sustainable development by the year 2030. And collaboration is definitional in defending the public's health. Teamwork, it's vital, it's central, and I encourage you to continue to engage with others, to reach across and bear in mind, foremost, the cooperative nature of our public health enterprise. Somewhere right this minute, somewhere in a mountain community, there is a woman struggling in labor. Will she deliver safely? Will we get to hear that infant's first cry? Well, if the health system works, and that is predicated upon sound research and data and statistics for evidence-based decisions. If the team deploys effectively, chances are excellent that yes, that mother and that baby are going to survive. Unfortunately, every day, more than 800 women and girls succumb. They succumb to pregnancy-related causes. So that's why teamwork. And for me, that spirit is really embodied by Felista, just one of hundreds of midwives that I have come to know who are working daily to ensure that the cycle of life endures, successfully using her talent, her perspicacity, her ability to bring together community, all the humility and the leadership that a midwife represents, to get there in time so childbirth is indeed a safe moment of joy. And that's why at UNFPA we like to say, call the midwife. Teamwork. I recommend that you collaborate effectively, yet remember this, there's a productive tension between collaboration, which entails accommodation and compromise, and a spirit of resistance to the status quo. It's that spirit of inquiry that brings you into the halls of academia and higher learning. And that's where your original thinking comes in. And I'm so pleased to see the range and the depth of the subject matter with which you have engaged yourself in this institution. Education entails transmission of accepted wisdom, and that is valuable, but sometimes progress depends on engaging one's mind beyond the strictures of received knowledge. Miasmas, yielding to the theory of waterborne disease. So your newness, your commencing, if you will, is an asset in seeing the world anew. And Professor Piot is a stellar example of doing just that with his insights on infectious disease occurring at a very tender age. So please use your creativity, use your ingenuity, don't feel you have to conform, don't flinch from your original mind, and of course, don't take no for an answer. My wish for you is unlimited horizons. Perhaps your passion for public health is going to intersect with mine, making the world safer and better for vulnerable women and girls. And that is the UNFPA mandate, to ensure universal access to sexual and reproductive health and rights. It will demand innovative thinking, public health thinking, systems approaches. And that's how we're going to reach zero maternal mortality. That's how we're going to reach zero unmet need for family planning. And that is how we will join hands and bring an end to sexual and gender-based violence. And in this, I include the violence of female genital mutilation and too early and forced marriage. In nomadic communities, it is said, return to your childhood watering holes for more than water. Friends and dreams are there to meet you. I hope that in future years, as you return to your school as a proud, contributing alum, to recount your public health triumphs, be they large or small, that friends and dreams will await. Thank you, congratulations, well done.
Thank you, Dr. Cannon, for that inspiring commencement address. Ladies and gentlemen, the rite of passage that celebrates the academic achievements of this amazing group of students and underlines their transition to alumni is drawing to a close. The mission of our school is to improve health and health equity in the UK and worldwide, working in partnership to achieve excellence in public and global health research, education, and translation of knowledge into policy and practice. A particularly important part of the way that mission is realised and lives on is through the work, passion, and integrity of our school's alumni, sometimes in high-profile roles, other times in less visible but still vital ways, sometimes in overtly public health or global health contexts, other times in less obviously connected contexts. Each person whose academic achievements have been celebrated here today will find a different path forwards from studying at our school and will find different ways to contribute to the world. You will benefit from the formal and informal learning you have had during your time at our school, and also from the social and interpersonal learning within our vibrant, diverse community. During your time here, you will have started building and strengthening your personal and professional networks. You must continue to nurture these as you develop your careers. Please support one another to continue to use your expertise with passion and integrity to make a difference in the world. And do please keep in touch with us. We love to hear what our alumni do after they leave. We hope to see at least some of you back at the school in the future, or joining our worldwide online learning community, pursuing further study as part of your continuing professional development. It is now my pleasure to close the ceremony by inviting you all back to Keppel Street for a reception with light refreshments. Please ensure you bring your coloured reception ticket back to Keppel Street. Your reception location is indicated on this and you will need it to gain entrance. The receptions will run until 6:30 p.m. and there will be staff on hand to direct you. Thank you for coming to share in today's celebrations. Please stand for the academic reception.